life, and that is what got me connected with NAMI, and you know, just got me started early. And one of my passions is that I hope that families like all of us that have children or loved ones that have a mental illness don't have to go back to square one and, you know, just kind of recreate the wheel. There's so many of us with so much information that I want everybody to be having a shortcut to care for their family members and for themselves for self-care. I found a lot of what I needed through programs, and I know that a lot of you will as well. Michelle, you want to introduce yourself?
And my husband and my daughter both have been diagnosed with a mental illness. And my husband had been untreated for about 25 years, and when he was finally ready to get treatment, I found NAMI probably within the few months of each of these events happening, and it has really changed my life. So I'm so glad you all are joining us today.
NAMI Connection is a program where consumers in recovery are trained at a NAMI training, and they facilitate a support group that's an hour and a half in length. It's actually a little bit longer than what typically is, you know, family to family. I mean, a family support group is usually about an hour. This one is 90 minutes, and it is a great group of people that can come out. So in addition to maybe what you're getting for therapy, if you're getting therapy, but you want to be out there with your peers, and you want to be talking about maybe an issue before you have another therapy session, or something you just want to bounce off some of your peers. This is just a wonderful place to go and meet some new people, talk about issues, and know that you're not out there alone, because there's a lot of us that feel like we're the only ones there. We go to the support group, we feel like we're part of a community, and I think that's the same for the connection group. They learn from each other, they share coping strategies, they learn about, you know, they discuss those challenges that we were talking about earlier that come up sometimes in that peer-to-peer course, about employment, about relationships, about medications. You know, they can gripe about weight gain or whatever it is that's on their mind. It's a place for them to go, feel safe, and be able to talk. Currently, right now, there's about 25 groups that are meeting in South Carolina. Some of those are meeting every Thursday of the month, every other Monday, and it amounts to over 60 days or evenings that Connection is meeting in South Carolina. And I have to do another count on that. There's a few that have just been added, and I think that the numbers are even higher than that. I usually take a pulse with the affiliates once a year, send them my list of who I have as volunteers for each program, where I say everybody's meeting, what times they're meeting. So for the 17 affiliates, I send this out. They have a list of who their volunteers are, so they can kind of keep an idea of, they have a tab, can keep tab of where we are maybe with a program that we might be feeling a little bit like we may not be able to sustain it if we only have 2 or 3 people. So these are folks that we need to get some folks to a training. But they also send me an updated list of all of their support groups and tell me if there's anything we need to change on state or national websites. So from that last data, we have a lot of days and evenings that this group is getting together, which is wonderful, which is just wonderful. Affiliates that are offering the connection support groups: AOP, Beaufort, Charleston, Grand Strand, Greenville, Greenwood, Lawrence, Mid-Carolina, Piedmont, Tri-County, and Spartanburg. We have some new connection facilitators that are going to be trained in November. That training still has 4 slots for connection facilitators. And those, some of the new facilitators that are slated to be trained are from Berkeley County, so that means we'll be able to offer that for the first time there. And also in the Ware Shoals area, which is sort of out by Greenwood, out by Lawrence, but probably too far for anybody to go to those places consistently for some of those meetings are 1 a month. Some of those meetings are every Thursday. So, you know, so there's some of those affiliates that are that have a huge connection program. And some of them, you know, the smaller affiliates are doing their very best to be able to open their doors once a month to the connection group. So it's great that we have that many, when you think about how many groups I just talked about and how many opportunities there are for the individual living with a mental illness to get out in South Carolina and take advantage of a group, some of these affiliates really have a lot to offer.
See, I'm not a facilitator for Connection, but I wanted to point out that the Connection groups do use the principles of support that you listed.
Yes.
And the stages of recovery. Is that
Yes.
what-
Yes.
The stages of recovery.
Yes, and that is really, they have some charts that they put up, just like the family support group does, and this is just really good to you know, to make sure that the group remembers what they're there for, and that no one, and this is really one of my, obviously, We Never Give Up Hope is one of my favorites, and that we embrace humor. But the one I really, really like is that we don't judge anyone's pain as less than our own. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a way for us not to judge anybody that's in that group that might be struggling as part of their mental illness, and a situation that comes to them that we may feel, oh, we could handle that. I mean, for them it's insurmountable, and we have to be able to respect that. And these are just wonderful. These are just wonderful. And we want to thank everybody for listening to our program presentation. Like I've said, and like Michelle has said, our volunteers are the heart of our organization. There are some people that are putting in some incredibly long hours, and some that are putting in some short hours, but they're really packed with good quality volunteerism. And we want to make sure that we know what they're doing, and that they're the lifesavers to our family members and our individuals living with a mental illness. Because we've all had one of those lifesavers in our lives. Somebody threw us the lifeline once and made it easier for us.